All right, now on to Dick Cheney and his role. Of course, he gave that speech yesterday, which we shared with you at length at the American Enterprise Institute, where he talked about how much torture rocks, and he said something interesting about the connection of Abu Ghraib to detainee abuse. He said, in public discussion of these matters, there has been a strange and sometimes willful attempt to conflate what happened at Abu Ghraib with the top-secret program of enhanced interrogations. At Abu Ghraib, a few sadistic prison guards abused inmates in violation of American law, military regulation, and simple decency. For the harm they did to the Iraqi prisoners and to America's cause, they deserved and received army justice. Oh, man, if there's any army justice in the world, it would rain down on your head, man. Of course, now reporters are looking at this and saying, wait a minute. The pictures that have not been released by Obama, and this is part of the reason I was so angry they were not released, shows the same exact kind of abuse that happened at Abu Ghraib at different prisons all across Iraq and Afghanistan and Guantanamo Bay. Now, as I've said a million times, how did all these low-level soldiers wind up coming up with the same exact ideas on how to abuse these guys? Of course, their superiors told them. And look at what Cheney's doing. Throwing them absolutely under the bus. Now, two important things related to that. One, the Senate Armed Services Committee came out with a report recently saying, hey, wait a minute, this is not some conflating things falsely. No, this was systemic and systematic, and it happened all across the board, and it happened because the administration ordered this detainee abuse. And partly for political purposes, which was to get information trying to connect Iraq and Al-Qaeda, which did not exist. Now, the second thing is really important. Philippe Sands is reporting in his new book, The Torture Team, that basically the administration had a strategy for what happens if things go wrong. One was, well, look, we didn't ask for this. We didn't want to do this. It's just the CIA came to us, and the low-level soldiers came to us and said, this is the only thing we can do to extract the information. So it wasn't us that came up with the idea. We were just trying to meet the emergency that we saw and the requests of our intelligence forces. Now, of course, we know through not only the Senate Armed Services Committee report, but through every other thing that we've seen on this and every other report, that that is not true. The administration cooked this up on their own and then told the CIA to do it, right? And then told the Justice Department to authorize it. And the second part that Sands is reporting is their strategy was, hey, look, if things go wrong, not only will we say the low-level guys asked us to do it, asked us for the authorization, but we'll turn around and blame them for it. So, oh, I didn't authorize that. No. I authorized things that are fine, that they're enhanced interrogation, but not torture. I mean, if you got pictures that are clearly torture, well, then that wasn't me. That was the people who deserved army justice, that were sick and sadistic, according to Dick Cheney. Man, if you're in the army or you're in the military and you see that these guys had already planned ahead of time about throwing you under the bus, and they have time after time, every time there's a picture, every time the abuse is proven, they say, oh, no, it wasn't us, it was those sons of bitches. I can't believe it, how sadistic they are. How can you have any respect for these guys? They really are the worst of the worst. All right, now, but I got to move on because that stuff drives me crazy. Watch more clips at theyoungturks.com.